Good morning, good evening, or good night. So to start out this project, basically I have always loved 3D. Specifically, I've always liked Autodesk Maya and Blender. Not because I actually want to use 3D, but the actual software. I wanted to know how in the world did this happen? How can people create a software that makes and renders 3D models? And can I do one myself? That's the motivation behind this. I wanted to make my own 3D modeler. So I come from a web development background. So this project was done in React, TypeScript, and Redux. Specifically, I used a library called React 3 Fiber. Over the next 18 minutes or so, you are going to see the process of me making my own 3D modeler from scratch, and I hope you enjoy it. Step 1, Google. That wasn't really what I was looking for. Let's look at the official docs. Can't hurt. They were actually pretty good in this case. It was definitely a good jumping off point. After following the docs and making my own basic UI, let's look at the first iteration of this project. Not bad. You can definitely view the model, you can move around in space, and the buttons don't do anything directly, but we can edit it through the mesh editor. We can modify it. Technically, this is what we want, but I'm not really looking for this. I want people to be able to visually edit it. Kinda like this. Oh, look at Blender. This is Blender. Look at these 3 lines. The axes. I want to be able to do that, but it's too much. Obviously, one person can't really do this in one go. So we're not trying to recreate Blender, but I want something like this. More or less. This is what I'm looking for. Going back to our project, as you can see now, we have 3 different transforms that we can apply. Scale, transform, and translate. That's nice. You can do it from the right-hand side. That's great. Now you can transform it. That's awesome. But there's one teeny tiny problem that we encountered. You need to actually select models. You can't just have a scene with one model in it. You need to have multiple, and the users need to be able to select different ones. So how can we do this in code? I want the selected model to be highlighted in blue. So this line here actually changes the color of the selected mesh to be blue. And then we set the previous one to the current one. That's all well and dandy. So let's see how this looks. Back here, you click on it. Ooh, that's blue. Nice. Oh, but nothing works. Dang. You can't transform it anymore. We literally went backwards. That's not good. You can't even select it from the left-hand side either. I don't know where to get started on this one. That's a big issue. Let's table it for now. Let's solve something manageable. Basically, when the right-hand side, we need the default to be translate. That's nice. Awesome, we fixed it. Let's go back to the code and solve another easy problem. We can add this transform controls from React 3 Fiber. Nice, it already comes pre-installed. I don't gotta do nothing. And coming down, all I gotta do is just put in the scene. That's it. And let's look at what this actually does for us. Yo, we actually got the 3 lines. You can rotate it, you can translate it, and you can scale it visually. This is what I want. I'm so happy right now. Man, when this happened, I couldn't actually explain how I felt. This is literally what I wanted, but the job is not done. This is far from finished. We need to go back. We need to make this right. This project is not done. Let's continue.
Left the hood, I said I would. I left the hood, I said I would.
Going back to our project, we can now create multiple models. We can even select between them. But you can't select it from the screen. And if we try the left-hand side, they both get selected. So on the left-hand side, we can highlight which model is selected by conditionally just altering the background color. That's it. We can just set that line here, and depending on if it's selected or not, we can change the hex color. Now, let's go back to our project. We can create another model. We can select between them. The model, the highlight updates, but trying to click it on the scene doesn't actually select it. That's not good. There's a lot of inconsistency going on, and we have to fix that. Before we go any further, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this video, Lulu, for her endless support. She's so smart. She helped me figure this out. Alright, so the main issue was that the left sidebar and the scene weren't synced. Once we synced these both two together and they both draw from the same data, the selection was a lot more consistent. But as you can see, we're moving the models around, but the right-hand side, the model editor is not changing. Those values aren't synced. We solved one problem, but that's not good enough. We have to figure out how to solve the right-hand side, the model editor. So basically now, the same technique that we used for the sidebar, we can apply to the model editor. We sync the data from the scene to the UI on screen. As you can see now we're moving it around and the values are updating dynamically. That's good. Yeah, scale, rotate, translate, it all works just fine. But we try to add a new model, it breaks all over again. Back to square one. We solved the problem, but made another one along the way. C'est la vie. This is the old way we were selecting models. A raycaster is basically a laser in 3D space. We were shooting a laser in 3D space from our mouse position, iterating through all of the objects available and trying to find an intersection and then checking that intersection to see if it's the same as the model we want. Only after that, then we actually do the selection. As you can see, this is way too complicated. I just thought, what if you literally just click the model? Here we have an on-click that we just apply to it. That's it. It goes to a function called handle object click, and now we just set the model to be selected. That's it. No fancy lasers, no nothing, no shooting in space. We just click it. Let's go back to our project. You create a new cube. You can move it around. Nice. As you can see, everything is updating, looking good. You can rotate it. Nice, nice. Let's make another one. Select. That's it. It's so much more reliable now. Now, you don't need to worry about lasers, you need to worry about any clicking. You can click from the sidebar, you can click on the scene, it all updates regularly. That's it. Nice. And they're distinct. The transformations for both the objects are distinct and separate from one another. The model editor updates dynamically now. That's good. With all that, nous avons fini. We are done. It is working. No issues here. Let's address the big elephant in the room. It's literally only just cubes. You can only create and edit cubes. That's not a proper mesh editor. Like, we need something better. But before that, let's get a little fancy. Look at this. Check this out. Ooh, look at that. Grid lines. Grid lines! That's a proper. Now we're looking legit. Let's create something. Ooh, yeah, we can move it around just like usual. Check this out. Nice, nice. Scale. Yup, everything's working just fine. It's updating. We also moved the left-hand side. Now they're on one row, not two. Nice. We got wireframes. Ooh, wireframes. We could turn it off and on. We got wireframes. And check this gizmo on the bottom right. Ooh, we got top view. We got front view. Nice, we got a diagonal view too, right view? Oh man, that's nice. But let's get back to business. For real, we gotta address this. We need to make some different shapes. Yeah. Turns out that wasn't actually too hard. We could just import the different types of primitives and just set that. We can now create a box, sphere, cylinder. That wasn't too much of an issue. Yeah, select between them, you can import. You can just, that wasn't too hard. But there is one thing I want to do though. First of all, it's boring to just have green and blue. Like, yeah, it's nice and all, you can edit it, but you need update. React 3 Fiber comes with different primitives you can use, and you just set that in the drop-down list. Now, let's add some color. Yeah, we need some variety in this thing. Let's do it. So I used a library to create the colors. Also, now creating model is now in a new modal. Doesn't look great, but we can fix that. Yeah, we can just, the materials, we can also edit the materials now. Again, it doesn't look great, but that's not an issue. Overflow, that could be corrected. But check this out, look at the color. Wait, what? Oh no, it's still just green and blue. We're trying to edit the colors, but it's only just green and blue. Nothing is happening. And this was the point in the project in which I was actually stuck. I didn't know how to fix this. So I went outside. Sometimes it could be tempting for us to just sit and stare at a problem for hours, or to just ruminate, let something just spin around. But going outside and relaxing, giving your mind a chance to have a break from what it is, can actually be very helpful for problem solving. Like, the problem, you already know it. It's in the back of your head, it's in your subconscious, and you're working on it. Relaxing, detaching away is very beneficial for problem solving. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Do it again. So it turns out that the fix for this was that we needed to include color as part of the actual metadata that we save for the models. So I set the default color for every single model to now be gray. We also updated the model. As you can see, it's looking a little nicer. But basically the big issue here is that when you change the color, the same way the translate scale and rotation changes the stored information for the model, we apply the same thing towards color. So now they are separate, they are distinct, and the two models don't share the same color anymore. So in addition to just updating the color, the outline is now just a hollow blue instead of changing the entire color to blue. We also implement delete. As you can see, when we get rid of it, it doesn't actually remove itself from the scene. You just can't see it anymore. That's a problem we need to address. Let's try duplicating. Oh, yeah, that's not good. And we definitely need to address that. Like, this duplication has a lot of issues with the outline. This whole project has been the outline, and the selection has been giving me trouble. I thought it would be the actual modeling itself, but it's always been the selection. Honestly, so I just tried another attempt where I completely got rid of the outline. Like, the selection still works, and there's no outline anymore, but to be honest, there's just something that doesn't look great about this. The delete issue is still here, but I like having this outline. It makes it easy to see, and it's something people are familiar with. When you're selecting a file, you see the blue outline. So I want to implement it. I don't want to just get rid of it. So yeah, we need to find a way to address this issue of the outline being all distorted and out of place. So the code to fix this was actually a lot more straightforward than I thought. So basically, in the delete, we're trying to find a model. If it doesn't exist anymore, that means it was successfully deleted. So the outline was put on the outside of this. By moving it inside, we only get rid of the outline if the model is actually deleted. What we were clicking was the old outline. And now both problems got solved. So looking at this now, look at this. Yep, the outline is here. We could create a new one. That's fine, as you can see. Yep, the outline shifts between them. We can try deleting it. You can't click it anymore. Now it's gone. We were clicking on the outline before. Now we're duplicating and there's no distorted outline anymore. Awesome. We figured it out. We fixed this. Let's try another attempt with the cylinder. Oh, do you see that? The outline on the box is now a cylinder. Yeah. In my other tests, it was actually a lot more inconsistent than this. So that's a huge issue. Yeah, sometimes it was a sphere with a cube outline. That's not good. And honestly, I just wanted to smash my keyboard like over and over again. That outline, that selection, it just doesn't end. I gave up. But then I needed to seek help. Going back, it was Lulu. Lulu was the one who saved me. Look at the way she's stretching with her infinite wisdom. She's telling me, if you don't fit, you gotta find another way. You gotta squeeze yourself through. You can't jump over things. You gotta find a solution. So this, I locked in. I'm gonna figure this out like I'm gonna figure this out. The fix for this was done in the create or update outline mesh method. Look at this. So in here, if it's a new model, like we just created something new, we create a new mesh for the outline based on the geometry of it. And if we duplicate, then we take the original copy of the previous mesh. What was happening before was that it used the last saved one, which can sometimes be a different shape altogether. After figuring this issue out, it was honestly just smooth sailing from there. We just ironed away a few tiny little bugs, polished everything, and now, voila, le projet finalement. Check this out.
Saying it's gonna be lit tonight, and now you're stressing, sending out texts without the X like it's a fight. Cause you always start screw, but it turns out left and you thought it was Mr. Right. Nope, you're never gonna let up, cause you're let down, girl, got you fed up. Never let him get you down, girl, I said get up. Put on them shoes that make your body hella. Let him see that it won't ever get better than you. Never could weather the storm that you brew. Baby, you know what I'm saying is true. Men will be remember that boy's a fool. The things that you said don't mean a thing, that's what she don't need. Get that in your head, she don't need Gucci, she easy to please. The things that you said don't mean a thing, and I think maybe you should just leave.
You said that you would treat me right, boy. Say you would be right by my side, boy. But tell me, where were you tonight? You've been messing around with a different crowd and you don't wanna be found. You said that you would treat me right, boy. Say you would be right by my side, boy. But tell me, where were you tonight? You've been messing around with a different crowd and you don't wanna be found.
She don't want no drama, but she ain't the type to let it go. If you don't really want it, then man, you should let her know. Now she ain't playing around, get that in your head. Think about you, think about all of the things that you said. Think about all of that, all of that, all of that.
I don't want no drama, but I'm not the type to let it go. I don't really want this, no, I'm not part of your show. I'm not playing around, get that in your head, things that you said, and I think maybe you should just leave. You know you didn't treat me right, boy.
Donk. So, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something, or if it was entertaining. If you learned something, comment down below. If you have any other ideas for types of projects I should make, let me know. If you enjoyed that, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. But Thank you for sticking around on this journey, and have a nice day.